Happy 2021, everyone. I just wanted to come on and give you guys an update and talk about just some of the things that I'm seeing in the market and with my clients and experience and history, and talk to you about flat out why my clients make more money using me as their realtor. It's a popular thing right now to consider selling on your own. People say a lot of times, like, why would you use an agent? Things sell overnight, things sell within hours, somebody in my neighborhood will buy it. And so I want to talk to you about just a little bit of the details in why it's still important to use an agent, and the difference of what I make versus other agents as well, because I really believe there's a difference, and the results show that there's a difference as well. So welcome to I've accepted that my husband is still working from home in my normal office, and I am just gonna office out of my studio. So this is where I record videos. I've got my green screen. Welcome to my 2021 office. So one of the first things, like I was talking about why it's important to use an agent, is there's statistics out there that show in any market, in a normal market, a high market, a low market, buyer's market, seller's market, that using a realtor can help save you money when you're buying or make you more money when you're selling. And that comes from just processes and proven systems and experience. I do this all day long, every day of my life. Typically somebody buys or sells a house. The average is every 7 years. I do this a lot of times a year. I also coach other realtors on how to do this a lot of times every year. And so that's a big deal and a big contributing factor. I know negotiations, I know timing, I know all of these things that contribute to the experience. So I would say on top of just normal statistics, some of the things that set me apart is, number one, my processes. I hire a professional stager. I have a videographer. I have a photographer. All of these things I include in my listings, specifically when you sell your house with me. And the reason is not because, everybody says like, well, I do professional pictures and that kind of stuff. That's true. I am not a photographer. I market real estate. I have an eye for that. I know the details and data in real estate. I'm not a photographer. So I hire that out, and that's important to me. But it goes beyond that. It's important to take the pictures and then to market them appropriately so that they psychologically match up with what somebody's seeing online and when they come to see the property in person. That's a big, big, big deal that a lot of people don't pay attention to and don't think that it matters, but it absolutely does. So number one is processes. With my processes, I've got the team behind me, and I've got the order that everything goes in to take all of the guesswork off of the table for you as my client. In doing this, you know exactly what you're going to clean, when you're going to clean it, what order, what needs to be decluttered, what needs to be repainted, and you can pick and choose from these different things as well to make the biggest difference. And then we set a timeline of when we're ready for photography and videography and when we're ready to list. And so it takes the guesswork out of, should I clean this room? Should I repaint this wall? Should I put flowers in my garden even though I'm moving? You'll know exactly what's going to make the biggest difference and how that's going to play a part in that. So number one is processes. Number two is the details matter. So I alluded to the fact that it matters how you put pictures online. You can't put a picture of the front door and then show the backyard. It messes with your head when you're like, well, I don't know now, where's the kitchen in relation to the living room and to the bedrooms? That matters. All of the details. When you put your description online, it matters. It matters the words that you use, the order that you go in. All of these things make a difference because, like I said, you have to psychologically match up what people are experiencing online first, and then what they feel when they come to the house in person. That makes a big difference. Number three is I am aggressive in pricing right now, and that is because I can be. The market is a seller's market. There is next to no inventory, and because of that, we can be more aggressive in pricing. Now, when I do my pricing and have a conversation with sellers on pricing, the conversation a lot of times is structured in, here's a safe range, here's an aggressive range. Now, if we're gonna go more aggressive, then we can't need a quick sale, a clean sale, like that kind of stuff. We have to be ready to jump through certain hurdles, and it has to match up with the timeline that you're willing to work in. So if you're moving, if you're relocating for a job and you have to be relocated in 30 to 45 days, we don't have a lot of time to jump through hoops and remarket the house if we needed to and that kind of stuff. But if you've got time to sell your property, then we can be a little more aggressive in pricing. Now, I've already been aggressive in pricing and we're getting multiple offers. So I just sold one that we were like above the top of the range, cash offer, and they paid $5,000 more than our already aggressive price. That improves the market values in the area and in the location that property is in, but then it's also a win-win for the seller. And that the buyer happened to already be local, so that was even more of a win. It wasn't an investor or something like that. It was going to be owner occupied, which was really important to the seller. So all of these pieces, like I said, kind of go back to the details. The details matter and help us structure things, and I can help structure all of these pieces to make them line up and make them appropriate. And I would say the fourth thing that makes me different is I am a certified negotiation expert. What that means is that I know exactly when to give and when to take and what's worth it and what's not worth it, what to say yes to, what to say no to, and how that's going to affect your bottom line. I can structure those conversations. A majority of negotiating is the conversation and being able to communicate. And so having somebody who can communicate with you as the buyer or seller, but with you as the agent on the other side as well, to make it the best situation, then you have a smooth transaction. You have a buyer who feels like they've won, you have a seller who feels like they've won, and that everybody really is getting top-notch product for the amount that they're willing to pay. And that really can make or break the way a transaction goes and the emotions and the feelings that you have throughout the entire transaction. It is critical to have somebody who can communicate on your behalf. So it is still a seller's market. We have no inventory still. So if you're thinking of selling, it is a great time to start that conversation. If you're thinking you want to wait till spring, there's actually more competition in spring, and because that's when a lot of people start getting ready, and I'll sell when school gets out, that kind of stuff. But by putting your house on the market when there's no competition, there is still that opportunity to sell above asking price, to be able to also have flexibility in your terms. I've got a couple of sellers who have successfully said, I need to stay longer than closing day. And the buyers, we've been able to negotiate and work that out so that it's a win-win for both parties in both situations. So if you know you want to sell and you have to be in your house for a certain amount of time, we can throw that into parts of the negotiations as well. So, but it all starts with a conversation that is worth having if you're even thinking, hey, I want to sell, because there's a lot that leads up to getting that house online. Getting the house online is not the beginning of selling a house. That's actually the showpiece of selling the house. All of the work that has gone into it ahead of time, it started before showing the house online. There's, getting the stager out, cleaning and decluttering, and getting the photographer out. All of those things take time. So that's where the conversations are important and come in. So I hope this video finds everyone well and enjoying the new year. And if you have questions, always feel free to reach out to me. I would love to talk to you about your buying or selling needs. Talk to you soon.